Mary and Martha in that story have certain characters. Martha is, at least as Luke portrays it, Martha is the active one, right? Of course, she's active, don't you care? Mary's is sitting at Jesus' feet. And of course, Jesus says Mary has taken the better part. Now, I often think that this is used, unfortunately, as a way to denigrate active people. I'm sure if you've ever been in any religious circles, people say, "Oh, Martha, Martha," But someone has to do the work, right? I think what Jesus is saying is there's a time and a place for everything. We're meant to be both Mary and both Martha. Or we're meant to be both Mary and Martha. Well, one of the things I really like about this is that the characters in Luke's gospel, in this story, mirror their characters in John's gospel. So the one we just heard. Martha rushes out to see him, while Mary stays at home. Isn't that interesting? Martha, of course, is very blunt. Mary comes and says the same thing, but when she does, she kneels at his feet. So you see their characters mirroring one another. So I like to think that, these were women who had very strong characters, which shine through in both John and in Luke, which is quite unusual to have that kind of connection between the synoptics and Luke's gospel. So these are very strong women whom the church would have known well, and Jesus' friends too. A little bit about that too. A lot of scripture scholars point out the difference between, they're not just disciples, they're his friends, right? So hon philes, he whom you love. Jesus must have loved Mary and Martha. And they said that, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus very much. It says that in John. One of the things I like about Martha is that she shows us the need for honesty, right? Tell her to help me. I mean, that is just incredible. Don't you care? Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died, right? So now in a lot of situations, that is seen as her profession of faith, which is true. Lord, she calls him, and I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God. She's also being very honest with him, right? So it's really kind of beautiful. She's being very honest.